Welcome back, Big Backers. Today we're going to make a low-calorie pizza, seeing if it's good, and seeing if it's worth blowing the budget on your calories for the day.
It doesn't even blow the budget on your calories for a day. It's like 800 calories with like 70 grams of protein.
We'll see. We'll retroactively check the calories and let you know what each pizza looks like.
Yeah.
So,
Well, to start off, right, we got, this is 100, not even 100 grams. This is a cup of flour. Inside is salt, garlic powder, onion powder, and then a cup of non-fat Greek yogurt. This is gonna hydrate the flour. So you want to go ahead?
And this is also mine. We're making a square pie in the square dish.
No, we're not.
It's my yogurt.
We're making circular normal pies.
Why is using the circular?
Because I just needed 2 bowls to make the dough.
What else goes in this dough, Charlie?
No, it's literally flour, garlic powder, salt, and Greek yogurt. That's literally it. And then just start. Be careful when you're mixing it at first. There's gonna be a point where you're gonna need to get your hands dirty.
Okay. Did you wash your hands?
Never do.
Okay, we're in personal consumption. It's fine. We're not rated. Although, if you were rated like a restaurant, what grade would you give yourself?
Like Michelin stars?
Yeah.
10 Michelin stars.
All right. What about like the letter on the outside? A, B, C, D.
Oh, F.
Got a couple of rats in there.
Dude, even to get a B, you know how hard it is to get a B?
No.
It's very hard. So if you go to a restaurant, and I think this is a SoCal thing, because in SF, and like when I went to Seattle, they do not have letter grades. They just have pass or fail.
Oh.
Right? So if you go to a place that has a letter grade, and it's anything less than an A, don't eat there. It's gonna be fucking disgusting.
But didn't A stand for like all right, B stands for Big Back, and C stands for Chinese food?
I don't think that's what they mean.
Okay. In my experience, that's what it's meant.
All right, for me, I'm gonna say, why are you fingering your dough like that?
Gotta finger the dough, get the extra edges. I'm in a square pan, you're in a bowl.
Yeah, but I used that bowl last time, and we're fine.
And a special guest. Psych. Can't let us see the secret skills. I wash my hands before I listen. Don't worry.
I did not. But yeah, you see now it's like even like it's starting to turn into a dough ball, and you can just pat it into like the excess dough on the bottom, and it'll stick and then fold it in.
This reminds me of my youth with special education.
Yeah,
they would have the kids come and sit at a table, and they put like baking powder. And,
are you saying you were teaching the special ed kids, or you were in the special ed class?
We were an elite class of selected individuals. But you put you at a table and put shaving cream and some sort of substrate. Usually it was like baking powder or something like that, just to like get this like consistency. And you essentially just play with it. And it's supposed to be like therapeutic to the kids.
Okay.
And I found it therapeutic.
So you were the kid.
I mean, at the time, as a former child, I think everyone's always been a kid.
But you were the kid in the special ed class.
I wasn't the specialist kid in the class. But there was a time when I did not speak English that well, so we had to work on
Weren't you born in America?
Yeah, you'd be surprised. Some of these dudes in New York definitely needed that class. You heard?
Hey, shout out our New York people.
Yeah.
But you see mine turns into a legit dough ball. You don't even need to add water or oil to this. This is actually going to expand in the oven on its own.
Oh, so there's self-rising?
It's not even like the self-rising flour. This is just regular all-purpose flour, and it'll rise on its own. It'll act like a pizza dough, but it's significantly lower calorie. Yeah. So now,
am I supposed to have extra?
No. So you gotta like pat it in there and then fold it in. Did you use all your yogurt?
I tried to.
Okay.
Say, don't throw the yogurt on me, bro.
Throw more yogurt in yours.
Okay. You're doing an audible or throwing more yogurt? Mine will be
and we can add some water to yours too, if that helps. You want to go to the sink and grab some water? Maybe that'll help it.
Nah, I'm okay. What's the consistency supposed to feel like?
Dough.
Because right now mine is kind of sticky.
It is going to be sticky. So, it's like, for me, like I can hold it upside down and it stick for a little bit. like I'm a pitcher in baseball.
Okay, I think I'm good with this amount of dough. I think that's as wet as it'll get.
Okay. Well, yeah. Now we're gonna basically let this rest. Right. We're gonna let it rest. We have the oven heating up. I have a pizza steel. Okay. So normal oven usually only gets up to like 550 degrees, but with the pizza steel, the steel gets hot and then it creates more heat. So then it can get up to like 700 degrees, right? And it'll act more of like a regular pizza oven, and it'll get the bottom nice and crispy.
Yeah.
And we have that heating up right now. The oven's about 475. It needs about another 30 minutes to heat up, and then we can start topping and popping in these pizzas.
All right. Do you want to pause here?
Yeah, we can pause.
And we're back. So we let the pizza steel heat up a little bit, and now we're gonna put down some flour so we can knead out the dough. So I'll open that up. We're using Arrowhead Mills. Please sponsor us.
Sponsor.
All right. If you're an older Big Backer fan, we're gonna show you that little Emerald Lagasse. Hit you with a bam.
Significantly more than that.
Bam.
Significantly more. Like get a nice little handful.
All right. Emerald Lagasse never did this on the show, but boom.
What are you doing?
I think that's good. How many do we need?
Okay.
A little more.
Just dump it all. Okay. So a tip that I learned from the dough guy on Instagram. Shout out to dough guy on Instagram.
And that's not my nickname.
Yeah, you're the Pillsbury dough guy. Yeah. But he said start from the inside and work outside. Never touch the edges. So that's what I'm gonna go with. Stretch out the dough. And nice, get that stretch. Stretch it out like I stretch Phil out on a Tuesday night.
Hey, it's a Christian channel.
And you're gonna hit him with the, oh shit, I tore it.
Roll in the ball, restart. If he was working in industry, this would become a, what's the difference between a pizza pocket and a pizza?
Hot pocket?
No, what do they call that when you fold it in half?
Oh, a calzone.
Yeah, it'd be a calzone, bro, at this point.
Okay. Now, oh, it tore again, Bill, it tore again.
It's okay.
Okay. Well, let's flour this bad boy up. So this is what we're gonna begin building the pizza on. All right. Ignore the tear. Fucked up.
Why don't you just ball it up again and then restart it?
We're restarting. When the moon hits your eye, that can be pizza pie.
You gotta start in the middle since we already started. That's amore.
Okay. Let's try this again.
If he was working at your local Sbarro's, they probably put him in charge of breadsticks.
I fucked those up too. Don't listen to the dough guy. Shout out to the guy that I used his strat and it didn't work.
Is this the Subway 6-inch or what?
Shout out my nickname in high school. When the moon hits your eye. You're gonna give any more commentary?
I'm just stunned at your brilliance. How do you feel about those TikTokers that are like day in the life? Because isn't there like some Arab dude that's like, I work at a Subway, and he tells stories about people he worked with?
Yeah, we need significant, like a handful. Like reach your hand in there and fucking grab it.
I think you're over drying your dough, but
It's definitely a little bit drier than when we first started, but
okay. I think this is as good as we're gonna get, Half. But I'm learning from your experience.
yeah, because you're gonna do your own, I guess.
That's gonna be perfect.
When the moon hits your eye, like a big pizza pie.
I think that's as good as we're gonna get it, and just get it a lot.
Flour.
Okay. This will be like a Neapolitan style.
What's the difference?
I don't know. Whenever they say Neapolitan, it's always like 4 inches across and like $100.
Okay. All right, that's good.
Okay.
Pass me the pizza sauce.
Is that GMO free range, cruelty free?
No, these tomatoes experience a lot of cruelty.
Oh no.
Now we're gonna spread that bad boy nice.
How many? What are those called? The little lunch boxes that you make pizzas?
Lunchables?
Yeah. How many Lunchables have you made in your career?
I actually don't like the pizza Lunchables. I think they taste terrible.
You don't have much experience.
Okay.
Right. I like how gingerly you spread it.
Now pass me the peppery mozz. I don't know if this is authentic mozz. I want to open the new one. You get the old one.
Okay.
Fat-free really saves on the calories. All right. Get that nice layer. You still want to be able to see sauce through the cheese, right? You know, like if you want to load up on cheese, you can go ahead and load up on cheese. But I think that's a good amount. Go ahead and grab the turkey pepperoni from the oven, or from the fridge. And then this is hot Italian chicken sausage that I got from a local grocery store. Shout out Cow Market.
There's 2 bags.
Sponsor us.
Pork and beef.
That's fine.
Sliced turkey pepperoni.
Oh, do you want turkey or do you want pork and beef?
I'll probably just do.
Well, give me that one. I want that one.
Oh, okay.
Chicken sausage.
You should put some cream cheese on there.
Some ricotta.
Yeah. No, the one we got from the legal place. Just put it in the center.
Hey, shout out Laundromat.
Shout out Laundromat.
Go ahead, spread your toppings out nicely. I want a little bit more fat in mine. And we're gonna lay it out on there.
So how do you get it off the spit?
So that's actually where this comes in.
I was gonna say I saw you do the deal, bro. I don't know.
Okay, you see that? You see how it moves? So now we're gonna go ahead and open up this oven. Raging hot pizza steel. Do not put your hands in there. Wait, you want to put it in at a little angle? Right? Give me a second. Should have stopped working. Okay, there we go. A piece of sausage came off. 8 minutes later, and we are back. The pizza's almost done. Bill, you're gonna start doing yours.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna be a better sous chef than you were. Buddy.
Okay.
You need a good amount on that bitch.
That's a lot of flour.
You need.
Okay. Let me put some flour on my hands.
Okay. And remember, this is yours.
Okay. So I've not made a pizza, but I've eaten plenty of pizzas in my lifetime.
And do you think that makes you an expert in
I think it does. I think we're gonna see that I'm just a different breed.
Okay, so
The Lord. How many pizzas has Jesus H. Christ made?
do you think pizza was a thing when Jesus was alive?
No, but bread definitely was. And there's a chance.
Okay. Walk us through your kneading technique.
Right now, I'm just using my fist to spread out from the center. Because I've seen a lot of sad people from Little Caesars do this.
Okay.
We don't have one of those
What makes
rollers.
them sad?
They just look sad, dude. Like, I don't know. Hard to take pride in certain things.
Okay.
All right. Now that I've relatively flattened it,
I just want to check
try not to burn my ass on the oven.
Not the red shirts on this channel yet.
Yeah. And then I'm going to, like, do one of these.
Boys.
And spread it.
Y'all can see that.
Perfectly done.
That is a beautiful pizza.
There's no onions on there.
I forgot the onions.
You got the onions. Are you going to throw raw onions on top?
No.
I'm kind of doing this gingerly as to have a uniform space. I guess not to make, highs and lows within the pie. I'm going to flip it. I need a little more flour.
Flip it. Oh, I dropped a piece of sausage.
Okay. Don't put it on pizza and frame. Right. And it's about 2 hands wide. How's it looking though, Charlie?
It looks good. You have massive hands too, from what I've heard.
No, my hands are actually pretty small. Ah, all right. You got it in my head.
We don't talk about that. We don't talk about it.
It's okay. You're gonna flip it. Oh, okay.
You want me to flour this for you?
Yes, please.
That is nicely flour for you.
I just sprayed myself with flour. Alright, it kind of came apart at the ends, but I probably just over flattened it. Very good. Gonna pinch the edges. Okay, we're just gonna have a little spillway on this side, and that's fine. Completely believe in myself and this pizza. And then I'll put out some sauce.
While you're doing that, I'm gonna go off screen and cut my pizza.
But really, it's the friends you made along the way when making a pizza like this.
Explain a little bit more, please.
Why are you sawing on your pizza?
Because one area I did myself on is I did it by a pizza cutter, so I'm using a knife.
It's okay. I believe in you. I kind of like my food dry and crunchy. So you'll notice I'm not using that much sauce in comparison to the amount of dough.
What about crunchy food do you like?
I think it's just textural. It's like a lot of people are textural driven and flavor driven. I'm more textural than flavor.
Not a crazy amount of flop. Check the undercarriage of that. A nice undercarriage. That's my pizza.
Okay, I'm moving to the Mott's.
You want some looks? Some fresh looks?
How is it?
Yes.
Okay. If you didn't see him in the camera, he was like, gas.
I was striking my hand through.
Okay. No notes, no notes.
You need a lot more cheese, bro.
I don't think so. I'm gonna have it less cheese than. I'm part of the lore. I'm very lactose intolerant, so I'm like very reserved with the amount of cheese I'm putting on this.
But it's fat free, and I'm pretty sure that helps with lactose.
I don't know. This is not my house, not my bathroom, so I choose to be more conservative.
It's crazy.
Okay, and then I'm gonna throw some of this on there. What is this again, Charlie?
Spicy chicken sausage.
How spicy is spicy?
It's not gonna burn your mouth like I just did on my pizza, but it will add a little kick. That's a lot of sausage. That is a lot. Are you not putting pepperoni?
No.
Oh, you're just doing sausage.
All right, I'll do 2 pepperonis on there. 2 kinds? No, I'm just kidding. Let me do the sliced turkey pepperoni. 1, 2, 3.
You don't want to spread out your sausage?
I think it'll be better bunched up. And I think when you throw it in the oven, it'll spread on its own.
Okay, do you want to throw it in on your own?
I'm kind of scared.
You want me to do it?
Yeah, let me clean this bit a little bit. Okay. Okay, that looks good. It's ready.
Yours came off way nicer than mine did.
I had like a handful of dough underneath or flour.
Great. Now we're going to give that 7 to 8 minutes. And then come back and see the result.
Off camera, Charlie devoured his pizza.
Whoa. I have one slice.
But in that time, it took about 7-8 minutes to cook my pizza, and we will unveil it.
Damn, that bitch burnt.
It's not.
It's not. You want to grab it yourself?
No,
You have to grab it yourself.
No.
It's your pizza, so like, literally just go underneath with the tongue and pull it off.
No, I'm okay.
You have to, right?
I'm scared. I burned myself on an oven before.
You're so scared. You have so much flour.
Once burnt, twice scorned is what I like to say. Wow.
Bill's not as pretty as mine because it's like a pepperonis. But
all right, oven now.
oh yeah, garnish.
Boom. What's that pizza place? Mod Pizza, or what's that other one?
I love my pizza.
This looks like Mod Pizza.
Oh, you want to cut your pizza and tell us how it is?
Right.
Actually, let's transfer your pizza to this so I can make another.
Okay.
for myself.
It feels like I'm on like one of those like reality TV shows. Like, who has a chop knife? Do you have a brush broom? A suck vacuum?
What do you?
I gotta get on this side so you can go do your pizza. Alright, are we in frame technically? Okay.
Walk us through the pizza process, Bill.
I'm doing it in quarters
Okay.
to be relatively traditional. I realize now that there's a lot of flour on the crust, which was not my intention originally.
That is definitely. We just got this pizza steel. We can make adjustments in the future.
Yes, yes. Look out for season 2.
Just split this bitch in half.
How would the third pizza owner feel about a calzone? Off camera, she just gave me the middle finger. Very kind of her. Tell me about Jordan and the history of pizzas.
They got Domino's and that's it.
Okay. Is Domino's the premiere? Because
Domino's is like last time I was there, which was like 2022. The only pizza place I saw was Domino's. I don't think they really enjoy pizza like that.
Have you had the pizza there?
No.
Do you think it's better than America?
No.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Because I feel like that's what they always say is like
It's not Japanese, right? Like Japanese pizza is definitely better than our pizza I had, even if it was just Domino's.
Do you think it's ingredient quality, or people care more, or what do you think it is?
I don't think the Arabs care about their pizzas.
Whoa,
No flame to the Arabs.
that's kind of crazy. All right, I have chopped mine into 8 slices, standard, and let me defer the rest of this part to Charlie's pizza making. All right, switch.
I guess I have all the toppings here. You stand over
Okay.
there.
Scoot in the frame. Scoot in the frame.
Well, go ahead.
No, come to the corner.
Why am I coming to the corner?
Because my thing's like 1,000,000 degrees right now.
Well, I'm gonna be right here.
No, you have to have it in the frame.
Okay, so we got the pizza here. Again, we're going to just go through the same process. Sauce.
I'm gonna hit it with a little garlic powder after the fact.
We put garlic powder in it.
No, on top. And garlic powder is, to my knowledge, 0 calorie.
Virtually.
Virtually.
You're not going to put too many to really make an effect.
Okay.
That's onion.
Okay. I think my pizza is good. We will settle it there. Maybe another onion slice.
There's one more onion slice.
Also, the onions were supposed to go on the pizza, but actually, in hindsight, we probably would have had these burned before our pizza was done. So
No,
it
the
works
pizza
out.
came out so fast, though.
That's true.
Shake it off. Shake it off. Ooh, ooh.
Walk us through your methodology.
This one we're gonna actually build the correct way. The shape is not the best, but layer a nice grouping of pepperoni. And I just spilled a shit ton of sausage, but that's okay. I'm going with my hand on the sausage. Okay, sausage on the pizza.
How long have you been a fan of sausage?
My whole life.
Oh, wow.
I love sausage.
Would you think you're uniquely talented in the consumption of sausage and sausage-shaped products?
What is a sausage-shaped product?
Could be anything.
Yeah.
A push pop, a rocket pop.
Dude, push pops. Do they even make those anymore?
They definitely do. Do you eat it for the shape or the flavor?
Is it wrong to be a mixture of both?
That's true. That was an expert move.
That really was good, right?
From my vantage point, that went in smooth as hell. It was like one pull.
It did. But now we wait for that one. Bill, go ahead and tell us about your pizza.
As you saw in the creation, I tried to be as traditional in my methods. Ooh, let me get a little closer.
Traditional in what sense?
Shape, build, coverage. And you'll see it has some color, some vegetables, which is a surprise for our audience. And yeah, it just looks incredible. I'm going to wait till it's a little lukewarm because I'm a fan of like cold pizza. Might be controversial.
Like you eat pizza out of the fridge?
I think so. I do that. But I think that when it cools down, the flavor concentrates in some way, you know? But obviously I'm not a food scientist.
I've been eating my pizza. This entire pizza is about 850 calories and about 70 grams of protein.
Mine's probably like 1,000. I put a lot of sausage on it.
Yeah, but you put very little cheese at the same time. And it's chicken sausage too, so it's very lean.
Very true, very true. Right.
We'll come back when his pizza's ready to eat. Or are you going to go for it right now?
I'll buy a little piece right now.
So yeah, one bite, everybody knows the rules.
Incredible. 6 out of 10.
Incredible and a 6 out of 10?
Mm-hmm.
How do you do both?
I think most pizzas at home are probably going to hit like an 8 ceiling. And you have to go like Venice or something to get an even higher rating.
What is this compared to a like Little Caesars, for example?
In value or taste?
Taste.
Taste, it's a little better than Little Caesars. But have you ever had the sap powder you put on the pizzas?
No.
It goes crazy. They give you like a little seasoning packet. It's what they put on the breadsticks. You put a little pizza powder on it. It hits like crazy.
I didn't know they had that.
And I am significantly fatter than you. But yeah, but we'll come back and we'll. Wait, let me set up. Okay. All right, and welcome back. It's a couple hours after our pizzas were cooked and consumed, and we're gonna do a debrief. How did you think your pizza came out?
I think the pizza came out good, right? I think next time turning up the oven temperature a little bit. We definitely put a little too much flour on it, but you know we just got it, so.
I think it's worth it though. More flour versus burning it in the back of your oven, because cleaning an oven is probably tough.
Oh, there's definitely a lot of flour in my oven right now.
Yeah, I don't know. My pizza was good. Like I said in the video, it was like a nice strong 6-7. But I think that's just like the limit of an at-home cook. Same thing with like DiGiorno and boxed. But I guess that leads us to the next topic. Would you prefer this over, you know, not even just frozen pizzas, but like a mod pizza or blaze pizza or any of these other, you know, made.
This might be crazy, but I think the location of a mod or a blaze pizza matters. There's some locations that are just bad, right? But like this was like 800 calories, like 70 grams of protein. I think if you made a whole DiGiorno and ate that on its own, that's probably like 1,300 calories and like 70 grams of protein, right? So is it worth, you know, 1.5 times the calories? I think that taking this pizza that's lower calorie and you can kind of top it as you want. Also, it's like pretty cost effective if you extrapolate it by the pizza. Like your one-time cost of going to buy all the ingredients is going to be more, but like if you do it by the pizza, this is like significantly cheaper too.
Yeah, and it was relatively convenient.
Yeah, it doesn't really take long outside of the steel needing to heat up. But to be honest, like you don't even need the steel. Like you can literally just pop it into the oven at 500 and you'll be fine.
Do you think you can make this in your air fryer? You have 2 baskets.
You would need to make really, really small pizzas.
But do you think it'd come out just as good, if not better?
No.
Because it wouldn't have a steel.
No, it wouldn't come out as good. Because it can't get as hot either. And it's just going to make it like, if you like things more crispy, so probably, you know, the crispiness will be better. But, yeah. What do you think compared to like a DiGiorno?
I haven't really eaten a lot of frozen pizzas, to be honest. Like, I don't go out of my way to eat frozen pizzas because I feel like the mod or the blaze or like you go to the mall and you make it.
You know what you sound like right now?
Huh.
You know that Nikocado avocado meme? That's like, it's like him with the fat lady eating ramen. She's like, I'm usually a one packet kind of girl.
Yeah.
You just did that right now.
That's great. Well, I have my Coke Zero right in front of me somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't know. I've not really gone. I mean, I grew up next to a Costco. So pizza was always readily available.
Costco hits different.
It's definitely more bready of a pizza. But like on this where it's like fast and quick and thin, I feel like this beats most mod and blaze pizzas, other than you don't have to do the dishes and it's made to a certain standard.
But then like a Costco pizza is like 400 calories if you buy the slice.
Yeah.
So is 2 Costco pizzas materially better than this?
I think per value it's probably better value because you get so much more volume.
And taste is better too.
And it tastes better. But I think...
Like, would you rather have this?
Yeah, I think I'd rather have that in terms of caloric intake. And then you don't have to put up with like strangers touching your food. Because this, start to finish, what goes in and where everything came from. And you don't have a letter, an A or a B in your kitchen because it doesn't really matter.
And if you want to wash your hands, you're welcome to. If you don't, nothing wrong with it. It's your pizza.
Yeah, and if you're antisocial too, like I could see people not wanting to go to like Blaze or Mod to like do the Subway style of food. Because like, do you think the Chipotle method works? Where it's like, where's my phone? It's like, yeah, I have a medium pizza, and then cheese, and then could you put some pepperonis on it? They put like 4 or 5. You go, can you put more?
No.
Can you put more food on there?
No, because Mod, like I do that. I'm like when I go to Mod.
You whip out your phone?
No, I don't whip out my phone.
Okay.
But I'm like, I want extra pepperoni.
Oh.
And they're not cheap, like because all of their toppings are no extra cost. Not like Chipotle where the meat is extra cost if you want more meat, right? So the Chipotle method does not work now.
Mentally, do you feel fatter for eating a whole pizza yourself? Because I think there's like a taboo built in. Like you ate a whole
Like
pizza?
for this pizza.
Yeah, or like the idea of a self-serve pizza in itself.
For a Mod pizza, somewhat, right? Because it's a full calorie pizza. For this one, you can eat. Yeah, I just spit a bunch. You can eat a whole.
I was gonna eat those later.
You can eat a whole pizza for the calories of half of a Mod, right? So like the guilt doesn't exist with this one.
But talking about guilt, like just the idea of eating a whole pizza is worse than eating a whole Subway sandwich. But the Subway sandwich alone,
is just as much calories, dude.
if not more.
Yeah. Subway gets crazy. That's why you have to ask them to dig out the bread for it to save on calories. But how do you know how many calories you're actually eating? They're like, oh, dig out the bread so I can eat less calories in bread. But then are you weighing the bread afterwards to see how much bread you actually ate?
They definitely don't measure anything.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's how many calories are you really saving?
Yeah, because even this is how am I going to track this on my sheet?
Well, it's easy.
It's easy to try. I'll figure it out. But we had different measurements of stuff.
That's true. But for me, I usually measure out what I want. I didn't do it for this because I kind of just already have an idea.
Yeah.
Because I've made these pizzas in the past without a steel. So I know what to put on my pizza. And I know sauce, surprisingly, you can barely put a whole serving of sauce on a pizza. It's yours and mine didn't even have the full serving. And when it comes to the cheese, right? I think a really good thing is that we use fat-free cheese. Fat-free cheese is literally half the calories.
Yeah.
Right? And for me, I don't even like that much cheese on my pizza. I prefer things like pepperonis. So I'm saving on the calories there. The pepperonis were leaner. Excuse me. And, there's definitely less guilt with this one. And for me, it's easy to track because I use Macro Factor. Shout out Macro Factor, sponsor me. Give me a free year at least. Where, I before, when I made the dough recipe, I put in 1 cup of flour, 1 cup of Greek yogurt, and it knows how much that is, right? And then I can actually you can save different recipes, right? So I made the recipe for the dough, then I made a recipe for the whole pizza, and I imported the dough recipe into that other recipe, and then I put 50 grams of cheese, this much. That's the thing. I've been weighing food for a lot, right? That if you put in food in my hand, I probably won't be able to give you to the gram, but I'll get you pretty close. There's not going to be a very big difference between what I say versus what it actually is, I think.
So we come to the conclusion that it is worth it and it is good.
I think making this pizza, especially if you have a steel, right? It's just an experience of making it. So that's good. But what's your thoughts as someone who's not a...
It was good. Honestly, it wasn't that hard to make. It was relatively small amount of dishes. And, obviously you just need an oven.
For us, it was more dishes because we made 3 pizzas.
Yeah, we had 3 different separate pizzas. He ate both of the last 2.
Yep.
But I guess getting away from this topic, what's your favorite brand of pizza? Because I get this a lot. Yeah, I get this a lot with review channels.
Uh-huh.
It'll be some random lady and she's like, this is so good. This is the best thing I've ever had. But then you talk to her and she's like, yeah, my favorite lunch order is a Cobb salad. I like eating it Sbarro pizza. It's whoa, dude, you're not really qualified. What do you think yours?
I think pizza is the worst.
The worst?
The worst. I think my favorite's probably Papa John's. Then Little Caesars, and then Domino's. That's like my top 3.
I would agree. I'd say Domino's, Papa John's, and maybe Round Table.
Round Table's like I went to Cal Poly Pomona. We had a Round Table.
Yeah, but was it like
Terrible.
the university Round Table?
What do you mean?
Like, was it?
Like it was an
campus?
official. It was on campus, and it was like an official Round Table.
But those are stocked by like college people, and I don't think they care.
That's true.
Because we had a Carl's Jr. on Long Beach campus, and it was
Cal Poly also
bad.
had a Carl's Jr.
And it was dog. Because people work there that were either like really old or college students, you know, and those people don't care.
See, okay, actually, we're talking about Carl Jr. now.
Yeah.
I don't know the dude's name, so I can't really expose him.
Mr. Carl.
No, it's not.
His
But
junior.
when I would be on campus, there's a guy who's very easily bigger than me. Okay, like he was probably 600 pounds, and he would go to the Carl's Jr. because I would go eat at another restaurant in the same cafeteria, and again, bigger than you, would get 2 bacon Western cheeseburger meals. Okay, and I would like. Is it bad that I felt bad looking at him ordering that? Like, not like I feel disgusted by you, but like I'm like, does this guy know he's consuming 5,000 calories right now?
Yeah, but he's probably in a similar boat I was, where you're like highly stressed, and it's an immediate release. Like some people do drugs, some people like go home and like hit their girlfriend, but like you think about it, it's like how do I immediately feel better about myself? And I think a lot of people in society now want that instant gratification, you know?
Yeah,
It's
but like being your size, if you see someone that's even bigger than you or even your size, be overindulgent.
I understand.
Do you feel bad?
No, I don't feel bad. Like, never feel bad about anybody because they kind of like accept it. You know, that's their life. That's what they choose.
But you're saying they accept it, but you also said like you kind of don't also recognize what you're doing really in the moment.
Yeah, but like at that point, what are you gonna do? Go up there and be like, "Hey, dude, if you didn't eat this, you
Yeah.
probably would be fat." But like, he knows that he's eating this because it's gonna make him fat, and he's been fat. And some people are honestly like, I mentioned this in earlier conversations outside of the video.
Yeah.
A lot of people live quiet lives of desperation.
Mm-hmm.
They wish things were a certain way. They wish they did things differently. But honestly, like you look around, like some days I wake up and I go, "Fuck, I'm fat. I made myself fat. My life is restricted because of this." And then I go, but that was then. This is now. Let me get a pizza. You know? And then I go out and have like 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. Let's be honest, like 6K calories is nothing for like an average person.
Yeah.
To eat in like not even a couple hours, like an hour.
And like when I got really fat, like my freshman year of college, like they had the freshman 15. Mine was the freshman 50. I gained 50 pounds my freshman year. And like for me, is like I would go to school, I would not eat all day, but I would have classes from 10 a.m. to like 6 p.m. And I would, on my way home, I would hit Little Caesars, hit a $5 pizza because I didn't really have a lot of money and that was easy. And I would eat the entire thing, right? And I'm like, oh, I didn't eat all day, like I'm good.
Yeah.
And then that's how I gained 50.
Yeah, and it's so easy too, because like people who don't have money or people who are raised in like a tough situation, it's really easy to get any amount of money under $20. It's really hard to get more than $20 at a time.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I could crack out a $5 pizza here and there whenever I needed to. But if somebody was like, hey, we're going to go to get sushi and it's going to be like $35, $40,
Mm-hmm.
I could never go. Right. And sushi being like the healthy alternative.
Yeah.
Or like, hey, we're going to go get food. All right, where are we going? We're going to go to Whole Foods and like fill up our little box. That's a scam. But honestly, like,
you go to the Dollar Tree and you fill up your pantry with snacks that are all $1.
Yeah, it's all $1, you know? Not anymore. But.
That actually opens another subject because the whole point of this podcast is like about weight and like weight loss and, you know, cultural norms around weight and this is something that I recognize and I want you to speak to this. Rich people, especially in SF. I think in SF, right, like we are just like abnormally large, right? And like everyone is just walking around, they're really skinny. But like rich people are usually skinnier. This is my thing. I don't have statistics backed up. Usually skinnier than people with less money, right? Especially like these SF rich people who got these 3-story condos, right? It's like they walk out of their house and they're just like fit, you know? But do you think that unhealthy food is targeted more towards the less financially stable?
I think that's just society. You know, like we talk a bunch of crap about nowhere or no, not nowhere. Erewhon and like Gelson and like all these fancy like designer stores, even Trader Joe's.
Have you ever seen a fat person in Erewhon?
Never.
Never.
Unless they're an influencer, like, is it worth $40 for a strawberry?
Yeah.
You know, but to get to the point is like, societally, I think rich people go there and it's kind of a self-sustaining system where if you go and a strawberry is $20, you're not going to buy a bunch of strawberries, right? You're just going to buy like whatever you need to suffice. But broke people, and generally people who are out of shape, they're looking from a broke person's perspective. And what are you going to look for? High quantity, low cost, right?
And that's
why they
usually
have
highly
great
palatable
value,
food.
right? So like if you're poor, you've definitely gone to the Stater Brothers or any of these grocery stores and got the industrial sized bowl of cereal. Who here can say they've never eaten more than one serving size of cereal? Because I definitely had the off-brand Cocoa Puffs or whatever and filled my bowl up, right? And it was only until I started tracking calories that I was like, let me see what a serving looks like. A serving is like, I have a fat hand, but like the palm of your hand usually, right? And even then, it's not like stacked up high. It's probably like that much, right? Maybe a couple ounces of cereal. But if you're a broke kid and your mom goes, go eat something, you're going to go, okay.
Yeah, let me just dump this.
Yeah,
and then you don't realize that you're eating 700 calories worth of cereal. That's not going to make you full.
And that's just your breakfast.
Yeah.
And then you go to the school, eat whatever their school lunch is. The chip man will walk by, ringing his little bell. You get an ice cream, get a chip. It's another 300-400 calories. And then you go to PE, and a lot of ghetto people will walk during PE. I also walked during PE until I joined team sports. But you'd see those girls in the back of the line. Because like most people, it's usually going to do a mile, which is like 3 or 4 times around the yard. The fit people would dash, do their things, be done. And then you see the women at the back of the line, and they be yapping on their phone, talking, barely in uniform. They're tortas now. They probably have a couple kids, and they're fat, you know? And it's just like, did that turn them fat? No, but it's the habits that show like, if you're not willing to follow directions, you're more easily to slip into that lifestyle.
See, but then the habits that turned you fat, right? Now that you're on your weight loss journey and you're more aware of these things, how has your grocery cart changed?
I definitely buy with intention, not so much as like, oh, that looks good, let me get some. Because I'm sure a lot of us go to Costco and it's like a gamble every time.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, here's Golden Graham, blah, 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 specialty, blah, 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 Costco exclusive. And there's like 50 of them things in there. And it's like, I'm going to get this. And if I don't like it, I did spend money on it, so I'm going to eat them. You know, and I've been burned more than once at the Costco. You know, and I think that's what a lot of people do. Is like, especially when you have like a little bit of money, you and your friends will get together and go to the Dollar Tree.
Yeah.
And you go get snacks, come out and like twist and share. And that's not a healthy lifestyle, you know? But if you are more affluent, it's like eating is a part of your day, but it's such a small part of your day. Like I've always looked forward to a meal my whole life, whereas other people would probably look forward to doing something else, like going to Disneyland, right? I didn't go to a Disneyland until I was like relatively an adult.
Yeah, I didn't go to Disneyland until I was like 19.
Yeah, and then now we got Disney adults that are like usually affluent white women that are overweight and overindulgent. Not to come for the necks of certain people that helped me go to Disneyland, but these are things that you notice in patterns, and a lot of stereotypes are earned, you know?
Yeah, I think it's interesting how, you know, the lifestyle really matters.
Yeah.
Like I know people that like they eat for fuel, and they don't eat because they hate. Like I know a guy.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna say his name. His day-to-day meal. I'm talking like if he's eating 14 meals in a week, 10 of them are this: ground turkey, no seasoning.
Does he have abs?
He does. That dude is like legit, maybe like 8% body fat, like year round. And but like he eats because it's like it doesn't taste the best, but it's like, you know, I just eat it.
And what's a day to his life? What does a day in his life look like? He wakes up 6 a.m., runs around.
Not really. Like to me, like he's a really big snowboarder. He's a really cool guy,
Yeah.
obviously. But well, yeah, like he wakes up, goes to work, eats his ground turkey, and he goes to sleep. And he just like revolves, right?
Yeah.
And like that's like something where it's like if I like sometimes I wish I don't have a sense of taste, because then I wouldn't want to eat all the good food, all the food that tastes really good. 80% of the time isn't good for you.
Yeah, but that's like I said before. It's not really the food taste for him, probably. It's just living a highly structured,
Exactly, yeah.
regimented lifestyle. And it's like, if you could do that, you would be skinny, but I cannot make that change as easily. You know,
Why can't you? Because you're historic.
Historically, I've been that way, and most habits are like developed over time. And like more often than not, people still do things. You know, it's like unfortunate people have bad habits, especially with like relationships and stuff like that. Their whole life, they've always dated people who aren't the best, and it's like, why do you keep finding people like these things? But it's where you're comfortable, you know. And overeating, eating bad things, you know, looking out for my next meal versus my next exercise opportunity is the reason why I'm fat.
And you know, the girl might break your heart, but little Debbie's never.
Yeah, Little Debbie never, bro.
Little Debbie's always made you happy. Yeah.
And it's nobody's fault too, because a lot of people will look to the parents and like, yes, they created the environment when you were growing up, but maybe you copied them, maybe they copied you. But at the end of the day, it's a personal decision. Because
I disagree with that to an extent.
Yeah,
I think 90% of it probably comes from the parents.
Your parents made you fat?
I think they didn't teach me how to eat.
But do they know how to eat?
They themselves don't, right? And I think I've gotten to learn. So I know, like, when I have kids, I want them to treat food differently than I did when I was their age, right?
How do you navigate that as a fat person? Hopefully, as a former fat person who's a father. What are you gonna do if your kid's chubby?
I personally want my kid to do more of an active lifestyle.
Okay.
And I think that's gonna follow, right? Like, if I'm not gonna weigh my kid's food. That is, like, I think gonna cause like an eating disorder, right? But basically teach them, like, hey, it's fine to have ice cream. There's no problem with having ice cream. But should we have ice cream every day? No. Let's save it for this event or this day or this like that, right? Or make it something that it's, I don't know if you also want to make food a reward, if that falls into a trap as well. But, like, if my kid says they're full, you're full. Which we didn't have that. You eat because the food was there. Finish your food. But if, I put my kid a bowl of rice and whatever he wants to eat on top, like teriyaki chicken or whatever, and they get through half of it and they're like, hey, I'm full. I'll be like, okay, you're full, but don't come to me an hour later saying, I want ice cream.
Yeah.
Right? I'm hungry.
And that's one of the things, too. It's like, you can't really blame anybody specifically for being fat, but it's like the whole system that feeds itself. Because like maybe your parents came from a disadvantaged country, where it's like you need to have your next meal because you don't know when the next one's coming. It could also be the same thing if you're broke, but then it could also be like overindulgence as a way of like satisfying you. It's like, oh, my kid cries a lot, but now when he's eating, let me just feed him some more because it bothers me. But at the end of the day, I think once you turn a certain age, it's up to you to like fix your life.
Yeah, but then those habits are like established.
Yeah.
Like you can speak to this too. It's very, 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 very hard.
Yeah.
To kick a habit that you've been doing for 25 years.
Yeah.
How do you get rid of that?
For me, it's worked by not buying snacks, but then I went and unbought snacks, So even then I've like not been true to myself. But it's one of those things you have to like ongoingly go through. And honestly, I think it's kind of like the drug thing where it's like if you get off drugs, you're never cured. You're always in recovery, even if you've been in recovery for like 25, 30 years. And I've seen videos of people that have lost a tremendous amount of weight, figured they got skinny, and then they got fat again.
That was literally me. That's me.
No, I'm not talking about you specifically.
Yeah, but that is me.
I'm talking about dudes I've seen like 700 pounds, dropped down to 300, got skin surgery, shot back up to like 650.
Dude, that's what happened with the Mr. Beast did like a video where it was like a weight loss series for this dude.
Yeah. And
I think the trainer died like halfway through the series.
Holy shit.
But like the guy's like, I'm gonna do this for the trainer, I'm gonna do this for the trainer, I'm gonna do this for the trainer. He lost like 150 pounds, right? It was looking crazy. He's like back in the 300s now.
Oh my gosh.
Right? And I could be getting it wrong. It might not be the Mr. Beast guy, but there was definitely like a prominent weight loss series that happened in. And like that's what happened to me. I went from 250 to 190, and I'm like, I'm 190, I can eat this. Oh, I'm 195, I can eat this. I'm 200, I can eat this. And then I'm like, now I'm 229 again. So definitely not as fat as I was, but I'm definitely not as skinny as I was at the same time. Because when I was like still in the 190s, like I definitely still had more to lose.
Yeah.
But I was cut. Like I'd walk around, like my arms would pop out of my shirt, like that kind of stuff. And then, you spiral.
What do you think triggered your spiral, or was it just a gradual decline?
It was very gradual, very, very gradual. And when it is gradual, sometimes you don't notice it, right? And then work as well. I was working like crazy hours. And like, you know, we were lucky that our office had really good snacks. Like we had like the little panda cookies filled with chocolate, fruit snacks, Rice Krispies, Goldfish, chips, like literally anything you'll ever want is there. And, you know, you're working 7 hours straight and you still got 2 more to go. Let me go grab a snack real quick. Or, you know, I need a sweet treat after I just ate lunch, right? And like if your team wants to go out to eat, right? But then going out to eat, restaurants make money because their food is good.
Yeah.
But that also means most of the time it's not healthy, right? Even sweet green, dude. Sweet green bowls can get to 1,000 calories. And you're like, oh, I'm eating a salad. No, like you're still eating 1,000 calories. It's just the method of the calories is different. But that definitely played into my decline is my lifestyle changed. Because also like when I did lose all that weight, one, I was remote school. So like college was in COVID times. So like, you know, we weren't even allowed on the campus. And then by the time we were allowed on the campus, I maintained my weight because I only had 2 out of my 7 classes on campus, right? So I went, did my workout, went to class, left, and that was good. And so like I just like I didn't have things around me to push me down that direction. But then yeah, like you know, work, how readily available everything was. My lifestyle changed because of the hours I was working.
Yeah, and it's a grind, especially like that kind of like public accounting lifestyle. Because you see a lot of people and they're either bald or fat, or unmarried,
or
you know?
Or you're all three,
or you're all three,
That's
unmarried, bald, and fat, which is tough. And I guess you're chasing the corporate carrot, and then you get laid off, or you look around and you go, "Damn, this is all I have, and I'm nothing."
Yeah,
you know. And there are people definitely in public that I know that still work there, and they're definitely pushing 35. It's like the chance of being a father is still there. Is it prevalent? No. And then on the flip side, it's like you're a woman, maybe you froze your eggs, you're 35, you're 40. Like you're kind of pushing the limit on things that I wouldn't say it fulfills everybody, but it's definitely in certain people's plans they've discussed with me. But every year, the risks of like complications in any consideration goes up.
Yeah.
You know, and it's one of those things where it's like, I'll do it later. I'm stressed right now. Or I'll push my health off to do this other thing. But like, you really have to stop and like analyze your lifestyle. Because there are certain times where Charlie will call me to go do things, to go hang out and go eat. And I have to tell him like, hey, I'm at my calorie limit because I was irresponsible with my calorie management. And in a way that did restrict me in my socialization.
Yeah.
But I know if I go out with you, it's like, we're going to stop and get food somewhere if we can.
Yeah.
And then I feel really awkward when I'm like, hey, I can't eat anything. And you don't want to eat by yourself and just have me look at you. You know?
Yeah, that makes me feel awkward.
Because then they'll think we're gay too. You know, we went to a card shop or a card show and they were like, together? And I was like, no, we're just bros.
Lady died laughing.
Yeah, she definitely thought we were gay. But I have a lot of gay allegations with other people. Because when I hang out, it's like, oh, we're just together. We just hang out in like pairs.
Yeah. No, I think like I see people who like they're fatter, right, or they're bigger.
Yeah.
And they have kids.
Yeah.
And they can't sit on the floor and play with their kid because they can't get up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do I want to be that way? No, dude. If I have a daughter and she brings home a boyfriend, I want to be fucking swole, so he's scared. Like, hey, don't fuck with her, you know. Or else you're gonna get pow pow, you know. That's pretty good, by the way.
I didn't see it in the camera, but I'll watch it in the playback. But you gotta think like. I think it's the same thing with being fat. Do you think they consciously say like, hey, I wish I could go play catch with my kid, but damn, it's a hill?
I think so, dude. There was a commercial. I don't even know what the commercial was for.
Yeah. But
it was great. It was a POV. And if I can find this, I might insert it into the editing.
Yeah.
It was a POV of an obese guy.
Yeah.
And he was getting up. His kid wanted to play. I go, I can't play. And then, like, he's just sitting there drinking a full-calorie Coke, eating crazy, right? And then he has a heart attack.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like, that is a really, like, if you're really like, what am I doing with my life? Watch that commercial. That will make you want to change. Right? If you're looking for that motivation to change, you just need to watch that.
Yeah. And then on that note, on that recommendation, you should watch a movie called The Whale
The whale.
with Brendan Fraser from The Mummy. He had you know The Mummy, right? Brendan Fraser.
Yeah.
He was like a big superstar, and then he fell off, or not fell off. I think he had issues, right? Had medical issues, stepped away, came back, and in this movie, he's like a really fat dude, like about my size, unfortunately, right?
Yeah.
But he's a little shorter, I think, because he's like huge and he has like the little oxygen thing, and he's like paying his maid to hang out with him, and then his daughter, who he's estranged from, comes back and she's like, "You need to give me money. You need to give me money," and that's all he can provide her because he's so big, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like a really touching piece, especially as a fat person watching it. It's like, damn, do I see myself in the future being desperate for attention and like validation to do these things? And I think a lot of fat people, they want to admit it, but I think deep down they're like, I wish someone would come up to me at the club and say, "Wow, you're bad, and let me get your number." But if you're a fat woman, you know they don't, right? Like fat dudes are like, I would say in terms of difficulty, being a fat dude is easier than being a fat woman. Because like men are more visual, whereas women, it's like they're looking for opportunity, they're looking for like companionship, you know? So I think it's like tough out there, and you need to see more movies and like enrich your life and get like a fresh perspective, you know? Because I watched the movie and I was like, I didn't think about my life in that context, because you don't think that far ahead, you know? But now I do.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of ways to put it in perspective and reasons you should change. And like, also another reason I think like is good for myself, right? It's not good for your health. It's not good for your health to be larger. And even if you feel like you have no friends and you have no family type thing, if you died, there's going to be at least one person that's sad. There's going to be one person that'd be like, "Oh my God, I can't believe that person died."
What if it's the guy that works at Wendy's? He's like, "Damn, my best customer."
Right? Could be the guy at Wendy's, right? That you go to and you talk to. The reason you got fat was you ate at Wendy's too much.
Yeah.
But like, there's going to be someone sad, you know?
Yeah, and never give up, honestly. Because like a lot of people would look at my life, like on stats, be like, "Oh, 28, I was going to say 600 pounds, like 475 pounds, like just give up at that point." You know, but even I'm like smaller than most huge fat people, but there's not many huge fat people because they die off, at 35. So like, if I change my ways, I'll live longer, yes, but it's an uphill battle.
But there's like a thing like when falling off, right? Like, especially if you're like, I'm trying to lose weight.
Yeah.
Like we are, right? Like the last week, I'll be honest, I've not been eating the cleanest.
Yeah, you ate like all these sandwiches, no?
I got some Uncrustables and they were delicious.
They were gas. I haven't had them, but
you'll have one.
I'll have one tonight.
And like, but like, still like, I think in the past, what also got me to gain a lot of weight back is I would be like, oh, like I'm over my maintenance, like I'm just gonna keep going.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I think with the pizza that we made, because I put pork and beef pepperoni, which is higher calorie, and like the sandwiches I had, I'm not gonna eat again. Like I'm probably like at my maintenance right now. And but in the past, I'd be like, well, I'm gonna like have a sweet treat. I'm gonna go have a candy or something, right? Like I'm not gonna do that. Like I'm not gonna go fill my stuff up more, right? But I think it's like, yeah, like have I been eating great the last week? No. But does that mean tomorrow I'm just gonna repeat it because I'm like, fuck it, I already fucked up?
But do you think that's part of why you're fat is the bargaining? Because I know a lot of fat people, and I do this myself. You set out with a plan. Obviously, you fail or do something weird that takes you off the path. And you're always like, well, I'm already off. I'm off by 100. Why not be off by 500?
Well, that's what used to happen.
I was bad yesterday. I'm going to be bad today. This week is just a write-off. Let me just do this whole week. And then it spills into the next week, and you're just always bargaining with yourself.
No, but that's
not
what
you specifically.
Yeah, but no, that's what got me fat in the past. Like, that's what made me gain back the weight, is I would be like that. I'm like, oh, I'm 100 calories over, fuck it. I'm just going to ruin it. I'm going to go crazy. Right? Like, yesterday, I went out and I was celebrating something, so, like, I'm not, like... And there's, like, certain situations where it's like, dude, like, don't restrict yourself. Like, go out, like, you're celebrating something, like... Don't... Because especially, like, you talk about the social aspect, right? If I restrict myself, then I ruin it for the people that I'm with.
Yeah.
So, like, yesterday, I'm like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Right? And, this past week at work was really stressful, and I fell into that. And I would notice, like, again, where I work now is... We have a lot of good snacks in our office at the same
and it's immediate, like, de-stress.
Exactly. Yeah. And, like, I would catch, like, but I wouldn't catch myself until after the workday. After I close down, like, because, like, usually I'll just keep everything on my desk and then I'll go throw it away, like, when I leave. And I look at, I'm like, oh shit! I had a bag of Chex Mix, I had a bag of cookies. Holy shit! And I would get home, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna, like, I'll have a smaller dinner, right? I'll have a dinner to fill me up, but like, I'm gonna make sure that this dinner doesn't go over my maintenance because like I don't want to gain a crazy amount of weight. Because like I actually kind of did that after the half marathon that I just completed. Dude, I definitely restricted myself because I wanted to be lighter running the race, and I lost 16 pounds to run that race. And I was just like, yeah, dude, like, you know, the last few months I've been restricting myself. Like I'm here with my boys that I just ran this with. I'm gonna go crazy. Like we went to Fogo de Chao, we went to Pet Express. Like we went out, like we did things, we hung out. And looking back on it, I'm like, oh shit, like I think I went a little too crazy. But then it's recognizing that and you're like, okay, we have to get back on the wagon.
Yeah.
In the past, I wouldn't get back on the wagon. I'd be like, oh, this shit's a wash. This is a wash. I'm done. Right? So now I'm like, especially tomorrow, I'm really locked in on getting back on the wagon. Like, I have chicken breasts, 93% ground beef, rice, potatoes. Like, the house right now is filled. Because you talked about filling the house with snacks. I do not fill my house with snacks anymore. When I lived at home, it was full of snacks, and that didn't help me at all.
But you have like 20 Nutella sandwiches. Does
Yeah.
that not count as a snack?
It counts as a snack too.
That's the bargaining.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying. But like if you go to like when I lived at home,
Because you had like 3 of them.
I did. I had 5 today.
Today you had 5?
But that was my breakfast and my lunch.
5 of them?
5 of them, which came out to 1,000 calories. Right?
Do you see the issue?
I do, but that's what I'm saying is I made sure like I'm not gonna eat anything after this pizza because I'm at my maintenance.
That's not his pizza that's on the plate.
This is not my pizza.
That's my pizza. That's at least like 50 calories of stuff that I didn't eat.
Yeah.
But I'm going to count the full amount of calories.
Yeah.
But I think it's one of the things they don't really highlight is that when you're bargaining with yourself and doing all these things, it's your body fighting you with the nerves, you know?
Yeah.
And you'll think like, hey, I'm going to not eat this and I'll eat this later. But then you find yourself falling off. And then you look like a fool because you're sitting there, me, 475 going, I'm gonna fucking starve. I can't eat a salad when I go out with my friends because I'm gonna starve and I'll be hungry.
Yeah.
You know, because you definitely went to like Panda Express and you could have got the greens, you could have got the grilled teriyaki chicken.
But I'm like, I'm here with
What
my
did you
boys,
get?
bro. I'm gonna get my orange chicken and my fucking fried chow mein, bro.
But did the boys tell you to do that?
No, I did.
You wanted it.
I wanted it, yeah.
And you're telling yourself, oh, the boys want me, I'm out here with the boys. You could have easily had a salad. You could have easily made better choices.
I could have made better choices, yeah.
And that's okay. You know, that's okay you did that. And like recognizing when you're doing it is tough. But then sometimes like me, I'm like, oh, I'm so high and mighty. I'll be like, I shouldn't be doing this. I do it anyways.
Do you feel that way with your salmon chips yet?
I kind of do, but I haven't cheated yet. Like
Yeah,
I measure them and I measure every time I do it. And I feel
But have
like
you like put yourself a portion of those chips, ate those, and be like, I want some more?
I definitely wanted some more, but I just
You never put yourself more.
No, never. put
That's
myself
strong.
more.
See, like that's like a change to your life.
No, but here's the thing I do. I drink a smoothie, which is 150 calories.
Oh, the
which
protein
is-
shakes, yeah.
Yeah, and protein shake immediately satiates my hunger.
Yeah.
It tastes like ice cream. So I'm not making a big choice of like I'm stepping away from snacks. It's like let me just eat something else that'll fill me up with volume.
Yeah.
And that in itself is like kind of toxic if you're taking a step back and trying to be liberal about it. But it's working for me relatively, right?
Yeah.
We'll see at the end of the month if I actually lost any weight. But I'm definitely down like 5 or 6 pounds just in pure weight, which could be water.
Yeah.
Who knows? But I definitely think I made progress this month. And if not this month, next month, I'll definitely be better.
See, and that's like really strong. And like you deserve your props for that. So that's a good job. Like, and then like for me, like coming from my house, right, where I lived in SoCal, is like I live with my family, and the house is full of like junk food, right?
Yeah.
And like that was a big thing with me and my dad growing up is we'd go on junk food runs. That's what we'd call them. We would go to Ralph's and we'd walk every single aisle of the store to find what looks good. Right now I don't do that. And like for me, like I had a dietitian for a bit, right? And she helped me train for my marathon that I did. And you know, she helped with my fueling strategy. She like helped me like you know with my taper, because when you're in the taper you need a different nutrition strategy that you've been using.
Yeah.
So she helped me with all that because she was a sports dietitian, and she diagnosed me with a binge eating disorder.
But you knew that when you were fat.
You know that, but like you know, you like someone like it's like you don't know what you don't know kind of thing. It's like I know I'm fat, but and like I know if like the food in front of if the food's in front of me, I'm gonna eat it. right? And that's how it is. But she was just like, she's like, that's not normal. And I was just like, I'm like, really? She's like, no, like you have like a legit binge eating disorder.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh shit. And like, I'm not using that as a crutch. Like, oh, I'm diagnosed with something. Feel bad for me. But it's like, I'm like, oh, now in my head, I understand the reasoning of why I did that.
Yeah.
Because it is that dopamine rush. And it's like, my body is just like, oh, like, the bargaining with it's like, oh, like, dude, let's just have 3 more Oreos. Like, it's only 1 more serving, But like now, if you open up my pantry, I have the snacks from when we did the tasting. I threw away all of the junk, like all of the full calorie snacks. So like, it's wasteful, but he doesn't want to eat it, and I don't want to eat it, and I don't have anyone else to give it to. So I threw away the sour strips, the Swedish fish, the Sour Patch Kids, like all of that in the trash. And now I have like the low calorie ones, but even I haven't touched those because the method I've been using lately is the fruit, like having fruit instead. So like I have like mangoes in my house, I have guavas in my house, like stuff like that to like, oh shit, like I really want something sweet. Now the only thing that I can't find a replacement to is chocolate. Because I'm a chocoholic type.
Like actual chocolate bars?
Like, I'm like, I want something chocolate. And like, see, that's where I fucked up with those Uncrustables because they're the hazelnut ones, so they're like Nutella. Like, I've been craving chocolate all week, and I haven't had chocolate all week.
You can't do like a protein thing? And
I don't have it. All I have is cookies and cream. And it doesn't hit the same.
But you can get like a small one later.
What do you mean?
Like a small protein.
But that was the thing. It's like I bargained with myself at the grocery outlet, and I saw the hazelnut things, and I'm like, these look really good.
Yeah.
And I was like, having it one time is not going to hurt me. Because actually something that's really good is the Atkins has like these low-calorie chocolate bars. Incredible. Like they have a chocolate bar that's like a crunch bar. And as a kid, I love crunch bars.
Mm.
And they have their own version that's only 100 calories per bar. Mm. I don't know how they do it.
But isn't it like 200 calories usually for
a full crunch bar is 200. But I'll eat one of the Atkins and I save half the calories.
Yeah, that's true.
And it like actually tastes, like to me it tastes just as good.
Yeah.
So like, but no, yeah, I definitely fucked up buying those Uncrustables. And I need to figure out how to, control myself better with them because like now I have junk food in my house. And I need to figure out how to control myself.
But you didn't think it was junk food at the time.
I didn't because I was just like, yo, I need this.
Yeah.
And like that goes back to like how I used to be before.
Yeah, because you jumped on me for my fish sticks.
I did jump on you for your fish sticks.
But here you just ate 5 chocolate Nutella things, bro.
That's true.
It's not to get you or zing you or whatever.
No, you're
right. It's one of those things that you don't realize it because you're bargaining with yourself the whole time. And it's hard to like step outside your head. Like with the nutritionist, it's kind of like when I went to counseling. It's like, hey, these things are bad. And these are like the names for it. And it's like, I didn't know that was a big issue. And I think one of them said like, actual crazy people don't know they're crazy.
Exactly.
And we're like riding that razor's edge where we know it's an issue, but certain things we don't really fully recognize as like things that are bad.
Yeah, like especially like right now you're doing a really good job of it, right? But when you failed weight loss in the past, like you failed your diets in the past, you go to the grocery store and like this is kind of what happened with me with the Uncrustables, is I saw it and I'm like, this looks really good.
And you're like, this is my treat.
No, not even. I'm like, I need this. But there wasn't a second voice in my head being like, that's just gonna fill the house with junk. No, like nothing clicked in my head like that. Yeah. Which normally I do think that.
Would you have bought 15 mini cakes?
No.
Why'd you buy these? Because it's bread and Nutella.
Yeah, but it's like, again, like I didn't have a voice fighting me. I just had the one voice in my head being like, we need this.
Yeah.
And then, but like normally I feel like I do a good job of, hey dude, I want this. I'm like, damn, that shit's 400 calories?
Yeah.
Do I need that? Like, you do not need that, dude.
Do you ever get emotional when you're restricting yourself?
I don't get emotional. I was watching a Will Tennyson video.
Yeah.
And
that guy's shredded.
Yeah, but you need to watch this video. It's amazing. He went along with semi-truck drivers.
Shout out Will Tennyson.
I actually met him in person. He's taller than you think.
He's taller than
he is.
He's
like shorter than me, but he's like 5'9", 5'10".
But I'm 5'10".
You're like 5'4", bro.
And I'm taller than you.
You are.
Barely.
But like, he made a video where he went with some semi-drivers on like an 18-hour drive. And like, again, like I'm not skinny. I'm like, I would consider myself skinny fat.
Do you think you're truck driver built?
I'm more fit than a truck driver.
Because you have a hat.
I do have I wear a lot of hats. I'm not bald, by the way.
Chose that.
But like, yeah, he made a video going with these truck drivers.
Yeah.
And I legit cried because the way they ate, the way these truck drivers eat is exactly how I ate. Cause like, dude, like I definitely made changes in my life that if I didn't make those changes, even when I was getting fat again, if like I still maintained those changes. Like I used to drink full calorie Coke and a lot. And like I drink at least 4 cans a day right now. Right? Because I'm like, I love Coke Zero. That's like my thing.
Yeah.
And it's 0 calorie, you know. And I'm like, I can drink this along with obviously drink water. Don't make Coke Zero your only hydration source. But like in the past that was full calorie. You know?
Yeah, but you exhibit the same behaviors that like I think I do that too.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like it's an addiction. You know? Because like you see these people on like hoarding houses.
Yeah.
They're like, don't touch my stuff. This is all I have. And it's like a bunch of dog poop in a bag. You know? And it's kind of the same thing where like when people are confronting me when I'm FaceTiming friends and I'm going to the grocery store, they're like, do you need that bill? Do you need that bill? And it's like, I feel like I do need it.
I do that too.
And if they confronted me, it's like, oh, dude, this is all I got. This is all I have.
That was literally our conversation with the salmon chips.
I know, but I needed them, pal. And
Yeah,
at the time,
I know.
I needed them. And I've been pretty good about like controlling myself, but it's like I shouldn't have them at all, right?
Yeah. And the same thing with my Uncrustables. I should not have them in my house. And
And it's crazy and hypocritical. You tell me not to have them and you have them in your house the whole time.
I know. I'm a terrible person, Bill.
Go to hell. It's terrible. It's sad. But I understand. You know? It's just something, and I've done that in the past too.
Sometimes the hardest person to fight is yourself.
Yeah, because it's easy to like point your fingers at other people, and that's kind of the thing. You're really easily prone to anger when people are holding you to account. But that's normal, right? And it's always easier to point to somebody else and go, "You're fucking up. You're doing this bad." And it's kind of the thing. It's like you have to overcome that in your head and point the finger at yourself.
I think also my problem is I do a lot of self-reflection.
You do?
I do a lot of self-reflection, but I do it too late.
After the fact?
I do it well after the fact.
Because like, why don't you implement like a control, right? You look at your car before you get in the line and be like, is this making me the best myself? Is this the best Charlie? I haven't even
thought about a control like that, right? And I think that is actually something smart that we could both do. Take a picture of our car and send it to each other.
Yeah.
What do I need to take out of this? And like, if there's like a valid reason you have something in there, like my Uncrustables, there was no valid reason to have them there. 0.
You just need a sweet treat.
I just need a sweet treat. That's my reason. But like, if I sent you that picture and you're like, Billy, you're like, Charlie, you don't need those Uncrustables, and I said, I just want a sweet treat, I would hope you tell me that's not a valid reason.
Yeah.
You know?
And like ultimately, you can say fuck off and just do whatever you want
could,
to do.
But like, then I need that's the thing. I didn't have that second voice to tell me you don't need this.
Yeah.
So, I think sometimes you lose the battle against your own self, and so that's okay sometimes, right? It's gonna set you back a tiny bit, but where you really start to fall off is letting that spiral, right? Because some people say, "Oh, I fell off the wagon," right? And right, I think falling off the wagon is, you know, like me this past week, being like, okay, like I've been mostly at maintenance. There's definitely like a day or two where I went over, right? But now I know this week I really got to clean it back up.
Yeah.
Falling off the wagon is, I think, where people say they fall off the wagon, but in reality, you didn't fall off the wagon. You chose to get off and have the horse run away.
Yeah.
Is I went over my calories by 100, like you said, and I went crazy.
Yeah.
You know, that's not falling off the wagon. That is choosing to get off and choosing to, and choosing to walk away.
Yeah, and on that note, like the pizza was good, definitely worth it. We talked about our struggles, came to a conclusion, hopefully reached a new understanding between the two of us. But, you know, viewer, reflect on your lifestyle. Where could you do better? We're all trying to strive for a better tomorrow. And don't fall off that wagon, and hit subscribe, leave a like on our video, send it to your friends, And we'll see you next time. Thanks for spending time.